Hi guys, welcome to 365 Days of Mindfulness Tips and Quotes. Day 32. Tips. Maintain a to-do list for the task you have to accomplish. For the task you accomplish, treat yourself by maintaining a to-do list. Quote. When you focus on what you want, everything else just falls away. Guys, let's see 15 strategies for an effective to-do list. One of the old productivity technique around is the classic and effective to-do list, and for a good reason. It's one of the most productive way for you and everyone else to get anything done. Whether it's a mental list or something that you're writing down, a to-do list is an essential productivity tool. At the same time, it is one of the most confusing productivity tools around. Many people discredit this for various reasons and don't believe that a to-do list is any good. But my argument is that maybe you and other people aren't making an effective to-do list. So here we will go over how to get one done right. You have been using them wrong. Before jumping into strategies to make an effective to-do list, it's worth knowing why you should bother making one. The first important point is that many people have been making to-do lists all wrong. Two of the most common mistakes are people use list as a measurement of whether they are productive or not. They put too many items on the list. It is understandable why you and other people do this, though. A to-do list is a productive tool, so it makes sense to pile on tasks. However, the brain doesn't work that way. If you have a lot of tasks on your list, it feels like torture as the list never ends. At first, it can feel nice that you always have something to do, but keep in mind that you only have so much time in a day. It's important that you place more values in quality works rather than sheer quantity. On that same note, if you are someone who has tendencies to seek validation, your to-do list can be tough. There will be days where you don't get anything done due to life events. This creates unnecessary pressure and sends you into a stress whirlwind. When you build an effective to-do list, the main goal of these lists is to provide clarity and focus. If you have been doing them wrong, you may have noticed that you are focusing in on a task on your to-do list and getting it done. This may be overshadowed by multiple items on your list, but you are focusing on a task during a given time. You rarely see this in action when you consider having a shorter to-do list through. I understand that a to-do list isn't for a single person, but this focus is helpful to people who starting out. You are still not certain about your goals or the path that you want to take. You may also struggle to determine the next step to work towards. Your to-do list is a guide. You can refer back to it whenever you need it. Furthermore, the technique that I will be mentioning below will make to-do list more effective for you. Let's dive into 15 strategies for an effective to-do list. You will begin to see how powerful a to-do list is when you consider the various strategies you can incorporate in one. This is your to-do list, so pick from the strategies below to find what suits you. If you are not certain, don't be afraid to experiment and mismatch several combinations. Remember that the road to success is one with many branches paths, so the method you use are your choices. Number 1. Break the list into two parts. The first strategy is to break a list into two parts. These two parts are called dailies and to-do lists. Dailies are the everyday tasks that you want to develop more. For example, if you want to make a habit out of exercise in the morning, A daily task could be following a 15 minutes workout routine or going for an hour long walk. Your to-dos are not daily tasks that you need to be getting done at some point. Maybe you need to prepare a report at work or make a presentation. You can put that into your to-do column. This is an effective strategy because it saves all the clutter that most people gravitate towards. I mentioned before, people stuff their list, and a lot of it is usually a task they would do anyway, like going grocery shopping or dropping the kids off at a friend's place. Number 2, put a limit on items. If you find breaking your list into two parts too much, I will suggest brevity to be a virtue when making these lists. You can set any number of items, but the key is that you do have a set limit in mind. Some people have no more than 7 while others go as low as 3. Do what makes you feel comfortable. The idea behind this is to narrow in one of the most important tasks that you need to accomplish that day. Of course, there are other things that you will be doing during the day, and that's fine, but you want to prioritize the items that are on your to-do list before the day is done. Number 3, use checklist for complex tasks. If you're already making a narrow list for putting in tougher tasks, my suggestion is to break that task down. Whether it's a full-on step you need to take or jotting down important details that need to be present is up to you. Either way, this allows you to ensure that you are getting everything done the proper way and that you are missing any key details or steps. Number 4, tackle MITs first. MIT is the most important task. Another way to look at this is to tackle the largest, most intimidating task first. Why you want to do this goes back to how your brain works. You may feel compelled to do the easier task first before getting to the bigger task, but the problem is that these tasks, even the easy ones, drain your energy. Furthermore, if you have really big task to complete, chances are that's going to be on your mind over the course of the day. That means you are spending more energy just thinking about it. All of that wouldn't be a problem, but the big intimidating tasks are dealt with first thing in the morning. Create a done list. Another interesting approach to consider is to have a done list. This is a list of the tasks that you are completed from your to-do list. Many people find it satisfying to merely cross an item off their list and be done with it. But depending on what you are putting on those lists, a done list could be inspiring. Imagine if you are someone who plays above average difficult tasks on your to-do list, activities that requires an hour or two to complete properly. This can inspire you to do more if after a day of working you notice just how much you accomplished over the course of the day via this list. Number 6, make your list easy to spot. From colorful paper to posting it in an obvious spot, you want your list to be in a place where you can spot it easily. Mind you, you don't need to have this list in front of you all the time, as it could create unnecessary stress. But setting it to one side is a nice idea. A glance to the side and you know exactly what needs to be done. Number 7, add gaming elements to it. If pen and paper isn't your thing when making to-do lists, there are several apps that can guide you along as well. The beauty of to-do list apps is that there is more room for creativity, and some of the developers incorporate games into them. For example, to-do list has an achievement system where individuals earn badges as they complete more tasks. There is also Bounty Tasker, which makes you feel like your task or side quest is in a game. Number 8, give yourself deadlines. Work expands to fill time allotted. It's an old philosophy that still rings true with how we are productive. For example, say you are assigned to write a report and you are given a week to do it. You will likely work on it steadily throughout the week. Or if you are procrastinator. You will put it off until the night behind and before and finish it. But what if you are given that same task and only allotted an hour to complete it? You will likely to get report done, but you will prioritize the main important points and highlight those rather than fill it with unnecessary fluff. The whole point of this is that with your goals and the items on your to-do list, you want to have deadlines. When it comes to do list, my suggestion is to give yourself a day to complete the task there. This is enough pressure and incentive for you to work hard on them. Number 9. Add tasks when you are fresh. Another strategy is to assign yourself tasks even when you are working on something else. Keep in mind it's not something you have to do right now, but this can help with people who are struggling to think about what to focus on next. This is all along the same line as when you hear something interesting and you write it down. It's a wish thing to do as it saves you the bother of having to dwell on the idea rather than focusing on the task at hand. It also saves you from having to recall what the task is if you are the type to write up the next day's to-do list at the end of the day. Number 10. Be comfortable with revising your to-do list. Depending on your overall mindset, another good strategy is to look at your to-do list and make changes to do it. If you are practicing the previous strategy, there may be a possibility that your to-do list is getting lengthy and you are setting unrealistic expectation that you can finish it all. By giving yourself the opportunity to revise your to-do list, you are allowing yourself to spread out your task rather than have them clumped up. This helps your mindset as you are not overwhelmed by the list. Number 11. Write tasks, not goals. You should have separate list for your task and your goals. The idea is to not put goals on your task list at all. While tasks can help you lead to your goals are larger desires and not something that you can achieve over the course of the day. For example, learn to speak French is a goal. However, you can break this into a task by saying reading French content for 15 minutes or watch a French movie. This also extends to objectives too. You can see these as a milestone. Going back to the example of speaking French, an objective can be discuss my favorite foods with someone in French. It's a desired outcome that you are looking for from your practice. Number 12. Keep to-do lists brief. Here's brief means scannable in that you quickly look over the list and know what needs to get done. How you can do this is by focusing on the keywords of the specific task and not dragging them out. For example, say your garage is a mess and you want to clean it up. Instead of writing a lengthy sentence, keep it short and write something like clean garage for 30 minutes or simply clean garage. With this strategy, you are spending less time writing the task down when making the to-do list. Furthermore, you are relying on trigger words to get your mind to recall specific details of the task. Number 13. Have multiple lists. As mentioned above, it's a good idea to have separate lists for various things like having a separate list for goals, objectives, daily tasks and to-do lists. Another way you can look at it is to have a system where you can consulting from 3 lists. These lists are your master list. This is where any of your long-term goals are. Things like moving to a new house, getting out of debt, or building a business. These are things that will take a year or more to accomplish. Your weekly project list. These are things that you want to accomplish by the end of the week. These are the things that will make the needle slowly towards some of the items on your master list. From the previous example, these could be doing research on getting a business loan, home hunting, or setting up a saving account. A high impact list. Lastly, these are the lists that need to be accomplished today. Whether they are related to your previous 2 lists or not doesn't matter. This is where high priority tasks are placed. Example can be calling specific people or working on a project or a report that's due soon. By having these lists in place, you will be referring often to be a weekly project list and the high impact list and determining whether your weekly task should be moved to that list. As you do that, you will begin to notice how much your daily life has an impact on those goals that are written on the master list. That can be inspiring since what you are doing is actively bringing you closer to your goals. Number 14. Don't ramp up difficulty until you are ready. Some of the strategies maintained can seem easy on the surface, but they require a lot of mental fortitude. Motivation is an unusual thing, and our brains are wired to process a certain way. If you are looking for a genuine change and something that sticks, the best principle is to keep things simple and easy at first. It may be a drag, but you don't often realize how those baby steps can play a crucial role in your being able to start running and chasing your dreams. Don't be ashamed if you have to start off with simple tasks for yourself. Even going back to your daily tasks that you do anyway, like showering, doing the laundry, or shopping for food, is a good way to start. Putting those tasks on the list at first makes you feel like you have had a productive day. From there, you can challenge yourself with more difficult tasks. Incorporate an exercise routine or spend in half an hour on tasks that mean something to you. The idea is to ease yourself into your routine so you don't feel overwhelmed. Number 15. Measure your time. The last strategy that can help you is to measure your time. How long does it take you to finish a specific task? You don't need to go for specifics, but make a point of timing yourself over the course of a week and get the average time spent on that task. Why is this important? This information can be broken down in two ways. The first way is to use it as a marker to boost efficiency. Depending on the task, you can find new ways to achieve the same result in a shorter time. It also allows you to know what you can do in a given day. If you know that it takes you an hour or so to go through your entire morning routine, you will be more conscious about how you move through that routine. Furthermore, if you know what task you will be doing the same day, you can better manage your time since you know roughly how much time it will take to get everything done. Final thoughts. Building an effective to-do list is not easy as it seems. There are all kinds of unique strategies to try out, some more challenges than others. However, if you are motivated to use this productivity tool to make your life easier, then it will get easier. All that you need to do is keep putting effort and experiment and reevaluate when necessary. So get started with your to-do list today. Be happy. Thank you. Bye bye.